started Crux with my husband Luke in 2019. I had moved from Chicago actually in 2016, met Luke then. We started climbing together. He had climbed a little bit before and he introduced me to the sport. So yeah, just like brand new to the area, such a beautiful introduction to California. We started Crux Wilderness Therapy. It's a 501c3 based out of San Diego. We take veterans out rock climbing. A big focus of Crux is long-term sustainable strategies to support your physical and mental health. So we want it to be possible that you can like go to work, you can hang out with your friends during the week, and then come climb with us on the weekend. You know, it's just a one-day clinic, 8 hours. And the reason we think that's so important is because, you know, that was what worked for Luke and I as like a sustainable strategy, just being able to get outdoors and climb together, kind of focus on that aspect. And then we can like come home and have dinner and go to work the next day. And I think that was what was key for Luke in, like I said, just finding his footing with his transition, and you know how that played into his everyday life.
Want me to hold your flowers? While you climb?
So I was in the Marine Corps from 2008 to 2012. When I got out of the Marine Corps in 2012, I moved to Mammoth with a buddy, worked on a ski hill as a snowboard instructor up there. After living in Mammoth, I met my now wife, and she moved into a van with me, and we continued traveling around and climbing a lot. And at that point, I had started kind of thinking of like making climbing as a career. Definitely wasn't strong enough to be like a pro climber. I knew that wasn't going to really be in the cards for me, but I did think I was good enough to take other people climbing. So the idea of guiding started getting on the plate. Got my freshly minted certification and then was looking for jobs. So I started looking into like veteran groups that were taking veterans out guiding, but they would do like 1 or 2 trips a year. And that wasn't enough to sustain my career and like what I wanted to do for guiding. And with that, my wife came up with the idea of like, why don't we start our own for veterans? And that's where the idea, like, that's where like the light bulb clicked. And we started going through kind of plans of how it would look and how we would make that work. I really wanted to give back to veterans kind of a piece that I got from climbing. And like from me, and I think with a lot of veterans, getting out of the military is kind of an awkward transitional moment of like, you're seeking like an identity, you kind of want to know what you're doing because like the last 4 years or however long you were in has been so structured and you've had so much purpose and things to do, that getting out kind of feels like you're kind of lost in it. You know, what are you going to do? What's the identity? Where are your people? Those kind of things. And climbing like just filled all those spaces so naturally and easy for me.
When we put Crux together, I feel like establishing a nonprofit, I was already taken aback that we were able to make it happen. I mean, we had never done anything like that. Luke got his certification, my background's in social work, so we had the idea, but we didn't know we could make it, you know, happen. So we were super proud to see it come together. Funny enough, one of the guys that came out for our very first clinic, Alex, we met Alex through a friend who encouraged him to come out, and Alex now guides for us.
I'm Alex Johnson. I'm one of the SPI guides under Crux. Luke is my, I guess, head guide, as I would put it. And I guide mostly in the San Diego area and sometimes in Joshua Tree. I joined the Navy originally to go to the Special Operations branch of it. The job of like just doing fun stuff and going places seemed like it was enticing, especially growing up in Kansas. There's like not much to do. So I've been doing it for like 9 years, and I just decided to get out because I started doing climbing pretty consistently for the last 6 years. And just kind of find a lot more enjoyment in that. And also the guiding aspect is like good work when I get out that I feel really accomplished doing, I guess is the way to put it. Like, in a broad stroke, I would say climbing fulfills a need in me to adventure that nothing else I've tried does. Going from like hanging out in a gym with your friends to like going to the Tetons and doing an attempt on the Grand, like via the Exum Ridge or something crazy, and you're using ice axes to get up this, this snow gully that's like near-death experience the whole way up, and you're like, man, this is fucking rad. Like, I can't believe there's this many levels to it. I mean, who else gets to be on like the side of a mountain in a place that like it's like 5th class terrain where like no one else is gonna ever get to be here? It's like so rad that you get this view and you can just climb all day with your best friend right next to you, and it's just such a good time. Like, I can't emphasize enough like how fun climbing is in all of these different realms. Like, all of them are fun. There's nothing that's not fun about climbing, except maybe speed climbing. That one's not as fun.
So our clinics are really focused on education and instruction in rock climbing, outdoor rock climbing, so that they can feel more confident getting outside independently or with their friends and family. If you can work through your emotions on a rock climb, that's kind of what clicked for Luke specifically. Seeing how he can like cope with some other feelings on the wall and then transition that into his everyday life.
Climbing, in its sense, is a pretty selfish thing. It's got no functionality in the real world. There's not much of a point to it. Like, most of these things, we could just walk around the back for the view. So it's not like that we're going up to like see this sweet view or anything like that either. It's mostly like we're trying to get the challenge to test ourselves and to test our mental and physical ability to overcome these things. And I think that's a big part of coming from military, like veterans. In the beginning, like the reason why they joined was because they were most likely looking for an adventure. They wanted something in their life that was exciting and different. And climbing is exciting and definitely different. And if you really take it on, it can give you some purpose.
Oh, I had it. I fucking gave up. Ah!
You're gonna follow the corner. You're not gonna go out there. It's like a 12 plus thing.
After I started taking clients out, and even taking like my wife or like friends out beforehand, it was like super cool being the knowledgeable person in the group and like having the responsibility of safety and all that, but like knowing your systems and everything. And it's like a passion now to teach and to see people get super stoked. And I know it helped me personally as a military, like in the military, it helped branch me out and like give me something I enjoy doing outside of just, lifting or drinking every weekend. So it makes me really happy. It can bring like an extra bit of joy that I love to someone else's life.
So the community that you have in the military, people get really, really close. And initially getting out of the military, the only place that bond is readily accessible is other veteran groups, right? So that turns into this like extension of the military, of these like kind of groups that can tend to isolate themselves and kind of stray away from like a regular civilian life. I think it's really important for veterans to actually transition from being in the military to being a civilian again. And what that takes is to not let their military service become them. If your life is a storybook, right, and every like chapter is like a little bit different, like the main chapter of your book doesn't have to be your military experience, right? And what climbing can do is add lots of more chapters into that book of some pretty cool stories and some exciting things. Maybe they'll never like overshadow that one, big story that you had in the military, but if we can add enough more things in there and like add some more meat to that story, then that big chapter of your life that was the military is not going to be as forefront in your life.
I mean, shit, even right now, like, I'm like struggling to get into medical, and like I have like literally like 2 weeks before I I'm kind of like on my own. And it's a lot to deal with every day. Like I'm stressing about it quite a bit. Like it's always kind of in the back of my mind, like all these different things I need to go do and get taken care of, because stuff that if I don't do it, it's just gonna get dropped. So like right now, like my wife and I are just enjoying the days we get out like this, where we get to go climbing. So like those moments are really just reminding me, like, oh man, it's like, even though things are really stressful, it's like there's still so much happiness. And like there's no reason to get overly stressed. Like enjoy the moments you can enjoy, and then handle that stuff, you know, in a responsible way. But yeah, I mean, like right now the most relevant is just like I'm using climbing right now to like help me on a daily basis with anxiety of getting out. It's helping a lot. Without it, I think I'd be kind of a mess right now.
I've climbed with several different guiding companies, and I feel Crux is different for veterans with climbing groups, or even like probably they're climbing one-on-ones. I just feel it's very authentic. I feel they're very genuine. They're all veterans themselves, so it really comes from a very selfless part of themselves when they're out here with us.
Oh shit, I didn't even realize he was right there.
They're not just like checking off like, here I am Sunday, 10 to 3, and when is this over? I just feel they really hold that space from the moment you see them until the moment you're done. And they, you know, check up on you after as well, so.
It's hard to imagine that, like, oh, you're gonna guide for free. Like, this sounds like I'm gonna have to sign like some contract where, you know, like if I come, like I also owe you $500 somehow. And it's like, no, like we have to like find a way to like, no, it's 100% free if you're a veteran or active duty. Like, just please come and hang out. Like, I promise it's cool. I promise no one's gonna hurt you. It's totally fine.
I mean, Crux is here to add more pages to your book. You know, we're looking to create these rich experiences and adventures in the mountains that you really take with you for the rest of your life. Climbing is like going from one best day of your life to the next. It's so fun. It's so much fun.
I love climbing for the places it's taken me. I love it for the physical aspects, but I wanted to start Crux because I saw what it did for my husband, and it gave him a stronger foundation, you know, in his life. It gave him more focus and dedication, and I hope that that carries on to other families as well.
If you're sad or lonely, like I was at one point, come climb. I bet you won't be sad or lonely anymore.